the cemetery near Thorsby Primary School in Hull. Today we are foraging in here because there are a lot of plants that we can eat. Here we have some wild garlic. You can tell it's wild garlic because it's looks like this, and it smells like garlic. And there are 3 bits you can eat. You can eat the leaves. Then there's these called garlic buds, and you can eat them. And then there's one other bit that you can eat, but I'm going to show you over here where we have some older garlic. Here we have some garlic flowers, and you can eat them as well because they came from garlic buds. Because if you open a garlic bud, what will happen is, you will see that there are flower buds which have blossomed into a garlic flower. And then what we will do with the garlic flowers is we will deep fry them, and with the garlic leaves we will make garlic oil, and with the buds we will pickle some garlic buds. The next thing we're going to get is something that we're going to turn into crisps, and it's something that you probably wouldn't want to be friends with. We're going to be picking nettles. Now, when you cook nettles, the sting goes away, but you might be stung by a nettle when you're picking them. So, if you look around, you may find something called a dock leaf, and if you rub it, what will happen is, then if you will see a kind of green juice and your hand will be a bit wet, and then rub it onto your nettle sting, wherever you have been stung. And to be on the safe side, I'm going to get my cameraman to do it for me. We've separated the nettles in a plastic bag from the rest, so that we don't sting ourselves when getting something out or putting something in. And as we're about to start walking off, we notice something. We think it may be edible, we don't know. So we're going to take it and then do some research. The next thing we're going to get is we are going to add to our nettle crisps, and you might have to be careful when getting it because it looks a lot like other stuff. This is garlic mustard, and you have to make sure you look at the leaves, because they look like this. But if we go over here, we found something else which has the similar looking flowers, but if you look at the leaves, they look different. And this is a part of a family that's very poisonous. But some of it are really good tasting. And there's a risk that if you take it, you would get the good tasting one or the poisonous one. we're going to a place that we call the edible garden because most things there are edible, which have been specially planted by people, and we're going to get something that's edible, but you wouldn't expect was. Here we found a bigger batch of what we're going to do, which is quite near the edible garden, but we're not going to go there. And when I said it will surprise you, it's dandelions, which you can make into tea or coffee, and you can put it in salads, or you can make honey out of it. And leaves are very bitter, but that doesn't mean that things that you will make will be bitter. This is the edible garden. We're going to be showing you some things that are ready, and also showing you some things that aren't quite ready yet. First, here we have some strawberries, and you will be able to tell they're strawberries from the shapes of the leaves. And if we go around here we have some gooseberries, which aren't ready yet, but you can still eat them. And then going around here, we have these artichokes. We have some artichokes, and we also have some currants, which you won't be able to tell which type until they've actually grown fully, when they turn into either a red, a white, or a black currant. Then here we have some fennel, which is ready to collect and harvest and eat. So I'll put this in the bag. And then the last thing I'll show you is something that I've been eating, people have been looking at me like, are you eating that leaf? I was like, yeah, it's an edible leaf. Sorrel, which is quite sour, so if you don't like sour things, don't have it. But you always have to try a batch of fennel sorrel first, because if not, it might not be sorrel. You don't want to collect a bunch of leaves for nothing. And if you want to, you could try the stalks, which are basically really thick, which is basically just really thick fennel. Sorrel stalks. It's quite hard to get them out though, because they're really tough. But if you get some younger sorrel, you will see that they just come like out of the ground and have one leaf with a stalk, really tiny stalk. And now we're going to go home and do some research. Now we're back home and we've cooked everything and done some research. We have the dandelion honey out of dandelions. And then out of the nettles and the garlic mustard, we have made some nettle and garlic mustard crisps. Then out of the sorrel, some garlic flowers, dandelion leaves, garlic and fennel, we have made a salad. And the garlic buds we have put in a jar and pickled them. And with the garlic flowers and dandelions, we have made some tempura. And what we found was called cleavers, and it can be used as a herb and can be used as medicine. Thanks for watching.